Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to tell you about the progression of difficulty that I go through as a child learns a new speech sound. We start with the simplest form of the sound, which is in isolation or syllable. So if your child is learning the L sound, it would look like this: la, la, la. When they can get that pretty easily 9 out of 10 times, we sometimes will alternate it with another sound that they might have been replacing it with earlier, like la is often replaced with wa. So I'll have them alternate between la, wa, so they can hear the difference between the correct production and their old production. Then the third level of difficulty that we go to is the word. So we take the sound, their target sound that they're working on, which is say L for this instance, and we usually start learning it at the beginning of the word, like lumberjack. I usually hold the card up by my mouth so they can see how I produce it, hear how I produce it, and see the target word, lumberjack. And I have them say that 3 times, lumberjack. Then we'll move to 2-word level, and that's where I give them 2 words with that sound. Let me back up, I'm sorry. So usually after we learn L at the beginning of the word, we move to L at the end of the word. So that would be tail, tail, tail. Then we might practice L in the beginning, in the middle of words, like telephone, 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 okay? Then we move to 2 words, where they're alternating 2 words back and forth 3 times. Lumberjack, luggage, lumberjack, luggage, lumberjack, luggage. And again, I will do that with words that have L at the beginning, L at the middle, L in the middle, and L at the end. Then we move to a sentence. If it is difficult for them to make up a sentence about this word, or it's hard for them to remember to say the L in lumberjack while it's in a sentence, I ask them to imitate a sentence, like I see a lumberjack. I see a lumberjack, and we say that 3 times. When they're pretty good at imitating me, then I say make up a sentence. And they might say, I see a lumberjack, and we say that 3 times. So we practice that till they can say 9 out of 10 of those correctly with not too much effort. Their tongue's going to the right place for the L, and they're pretty consistent with it. Then I might move to 2-word sentences, okay? I want you to tell me a thought or a sentence about each card. I saw the lumberjack at the airport. He had a lot of luggage. We want to encourage them to get all the L's in the sentence. He had a what of luggage? A lot of luggage. Okay, good. Say those sentences again. I saw a lumberjack at the airport. He had a what of luggage? A what of luggage? A lot of luggage. Okay. Then we bump up to three sentences. So I might give the child 3 cards. Okay, make 3 sentences with these cards. 1 sentence for each card. I see a lumberjack. He has a lot of luggage. He lives in a log cabin. Very good. You're getting close to being able to use your L sound in a full story. So again, we do this with L in the middle of the word and L at the end of the word. When I feel like they're doing pretty good with, I might start with all L initial words for these 3 sentences, and then I might mix it up and put an L medial or in the middle of the word in between, and so their tongue has really got to transition between all of these sounds. Then we bump up to 4, 5 sentences connected together, and that's sometimes easier in an activity. So I might get out a whole bunch of toys and they have to tell me a story with all the objects, or we might play a game that takes much more explanation. Or we might describe some pictures in a book with 3 or 4 or 5 sentences. Or they might describe a picture that they are coloring or drawing. So you can use it with any art or exploratory activity, as well as games, and just using the cards. Another way to practice it is up there with multiple sentences is reading. So I also often tell the kids, use the letter. You know what letter goes with this sound. When you see that letter, your tongue knows where to go. So when they see an L, they remember their tongue goes up behind their top teeth. Lemon, when they read that word. I see a lot of lemons. And then we move into unstructured conversation. We start talking at the dinner table. I tell them, explain to me what you have to do for homework. Or I ask them how their day was in the car. Or you can ask them how their day was in the car, and that's good conversation time. and just say, hey, I'm going to be listening for your L sound. I hope I hear lots of good L's. If I hear one that sounds like your old L, the W sound, I'm going to ask you to try that again while you're having that conversation wherever you're at. So that's the progression of difficulty that I work through articulation. So you might, when I give you instructions, it might be work on the 1-word level, work on the 2-word level, work on the 1-sentence level, work on the conversation level. That's what I mean by all of those. Thanks for listening. Happy practicing.